All right, so good morning. All right, so the first chick is over behind Emerson in the top of the stairwell, like I mentioned before. And mom was up on WTT2 a few minutes ago, and last night I left her. She had left ETT1, and we hadn't found the second chick. So this morning, just now, she was on WTT2, and I just found the second chick over there on the cross iron there on the east facade of the field house. And Wink just flew, and he was calling, and he landed up there, and then he flew to the nest with prey, and mom just came in, followed him, and she's sitting up in the nest with prey. And Wink has gone over there to the crane, and I think they're making a ruckus, and they'd like their chick probably to come out. We're gonna go find the little one. There we go. So there's the little one on the building. And that is probably where it wound up last night when it took off. And that's a muddy tail, so that is O2. Yep. It's got a muddy tail. Good morning, Noel, Danny. Right, there's a little one. And I'll show you, I don't know if mom's still up in the nest or not. I'll show you quickly. There is Dad. And mom was, and I'm going to go up in the nest. Looks like she has taken off. She may have gone possibly to go feed yeah, we're gonna go that way. And we've got our little O baby over there. Okay. So, hello there, little munchkin. All right, so mom knew where her babe was last night, I believe, because she flew from Bradfield over to the East Tower, ETT1. And as Cindy was saying to me, there was no alarming over here, so likely the chick was on the building. Good morning, baby nurse. Thank you so much for all that you've been doing. Good morning. This is O2 right here. This is Mr. Muddy Tail. So this is the second chick that we couldn't find last evening. So I'm over here and Wink is flying over now. He's crossing over the building and he flew right over where his chick is. So his chick is there. That's O2 there. O1 is back over. I checked a few minutes ago and he's over, or she is over in this stairwell at the top of the stairwell where I left her last evening. At the backside of Emerson. And so just to recap quickly, this morning I found that I looked over here, there was some alarming. There was a robin down here on the fence pointing that way. And Mom was on WTT2 and I went over and found O1 because the robins were alarming over there, yelling at her. And she's still there at the top of the stairwell. At least she was a few minutes ago. And that is Mom, I believe, just landed. Just flew right over us and landed. So Wink came in and landed up on Rice with Prey, was yelling the whole way. Mom came in and he took off and landed in the nest and she came after him. And then he went over onto the crane and Mom was sitting up there with the prey in the nest, I believe, and then she was gone and Wink was still there. And then just now he flew over the building that way and Mom just came over me and landed right there on that first cross iron. So there's the baby and that's O2. And there's Mama. Gorgeous. Big red. And I don't know if she has prey or not. But she knows where her baby is. That's for darn sure. And do you have prey? Yes, she does. She got a little chippy. She's gorgeous, isn't she? Yep. Well, did. Definitely the, gosh, she's so beautiful, isn't she? These moms are just stunning. And she just floated over there. So she's above, well, she's a couple of squares to the south. Baby is over there, O2. I like to call him O23. It's my prerogative in honor of our other chick that we lost. We'll save that discussion for another day, but we have found this little one safe and sound. All right, look at that goofy little chick. You're welcome, Rebecca. Good morning, Nikki. And thanks for the mostly positive statements last night from you guys. I know you guys would be. I appreciate that. A little bit of a challenging evening. All right, so I think that's our little smudgy tail second chick. And Mama is absolutely glorious there. She's saying, yeah, okay, I figured this building was going to be something here. So she's got a chipper. Something nice and tender for the Dad brought in. So that happened before I started streaming. Just before I started streaming, Dad came in from the west with a chipper and landed up on rice, and he was squawking the whole way. And I thought maybe O1 possibly had gone up there, but that would have been a bit of a stretch. But they were having a confab, these two, and maybe they did the prey drop exchange there. That's possible. And that BR brought in the chipper. But one of them brought in the chipper to the nest tower, and the other followed. And then Wink went over to the crane, and then he flew over his chick over the building and went east. And Mom had disappeared in the meantime, and then she came flying over me and landed. She landed there on that first square. And so now she's over further down, halfway down on the upper iron, and the chick is maybe a third of the way down, quarter of the way down on the lower cross member. And O1, last time I saw her, I guess people think she's a girl. The chick's a girl, was over behind Emerson at the top of the stairwell. So, as we hoped, Mom and Dad were keeping track of everything last evening. Where's Mom? There she is. Nope, there's no Mom. There's a chick. Okay, so we got to have a Mom there. There's BR. All right. So there's a beautiful big red. So very happy that we found O2. I don't know. It's a little bit early. If they do start, it would be later on. I mean, usually there isn't. There may be limited activity here. I'm not sure. Usually they start sort of arriving and kind of start to roll around 7. Hello, Chipper. You're lucky to not have gotten snagged by the winker. Are we zoomed all the way in? Yeah, we are there. Okay. Yeah. So there we have it. We're going to zoom there. That way we have there's the big crane. There's our little one there. So we're going to see what happens with the kid and with the mom. don't know. BR could kind of like just float around down there and feed the kid, I guess, right? Technically. Controls here. All right, so I'm so happy that this kid is safe. That's probably where it wound up, because it landed. Okay, so it's, the official, I guess, Fledge, whatever, on the, I guess, Cornell side or whatever, is that the chick took off from the end of the railing near the PTZ cam, which is like right there. But that's true, but in reality, the chick floated right over to the east tower and then worked its way along the railing toward this end. And then it tried to hop up onto the middle rack of the end light box there in the middle rack. And it didn't make it. So it floated off, and it floated and landed in the top of that tree right there. And since there was no sidewalk anymore, I didn't realize that. So, poor Keys was trying to find the sidewalk that didn't exist anymore, and then try to find this tree. And I think they actually found this sidewalk here, and we're looking for a second tree even further along than they needed to. So basically, the chick landed up there in that tree, and then it was gone after, I checked again shortly after staying up there with O1. And so likelihood is that it tried to go kind of maybe back to the nest potentially, or flooded off, and it wound up over there, which is good. It's on a cross piece. It didn't wind up in the crane, didn't wind up in an excavation in a hole somewhere. There's only like 2 of those, and actually only 1 that I'd be worried about at this point. So it didn't wind up there, and it's not under the crane, under equipment. It's not on the ground. It's nicely up in a safe place. So that's really, really good. And O1 was happily sitting there at the top of the stairwell. You have the patio there on Emerson, sort of like the terrace to go into the main doors there. We were there last evening. Then you go around, and where that chick was last evening is where it's at now. So Mom is opening up the chipper. Or maybe she's just going to eat it. I don't know. So we got some new visuals this year. Definitely got some new visuals with the building. You get an idea of the scale of the building. So they did a great job of taking all of the lift trucks, and there's about 14 or 15 or 16 of them, and they lined them up that way at the far end of the interior of the building in a row. And the parking lot is empty. They've been running skid steers back and forth in the parking lot on the other side of this fencing during the week. So that area is all empty. And this area, so the parking lot is empty all the way to the far end. This is all empty except for the crane. And we got 1 lift truck here and then the crane. But all the containers and stuff like that, materials containers, are all buttoned up. So basically they've kind of like essentially cleared as much of this area as possible here. which I really am grateful for. That's different than what has been here on the weekends before. So they I think, made a conscious effort to just basically declutter the area and make it organized and orderly because of the Fledge. Oh, okay. So Mom is coming right at us. And she is flying over, and she's going to land up on the dormer, I'm guessing. Oh, no, she landed right up on top of the Yoo-hoo. I believe the patio. I mean, I can't say that for certain, but it's kind of what it looks like to me. So let's go down to the chick. Here we go. And the chick said, wow, that was really cool, Mom. Doesn't do me any good. I think she obviously wants the chick to go this way. So a good day for you to fledge last evening. So you were 44 days old, I think. Is that true? 44, and your sibling was 48. I think that's right. Oh, look at that. You got a little bit of work to do there, kid. Got a little bit of work to do. Yep. Get the feathers, get the wings in place. At some point I'm gonna fly again. But in the meantime, I'm just gonna, like, stuff. I got chippies running around here on the parking lot below me. Chippers. Well, I think this one is gonna stay put for a few minutes. Shall we go do a quick check on O1? What do you think? All right, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have 8 either full girders or 8 half girders up. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so we have 7 full girders up and a half girder, half truss. I don't mean girder. Why I'm saying girder? Trusses. So they put this building, put it half of the truss, and then they made it to the other half of the truss, and there you go. And then they put the cross members on the walls, and then between the ceiling cross members, and then they put some sheathing on it. And this little kid is sitting on there goes Mom again, and Mom is okay, she popped up again. She just landed back where she was before. She's like, yo, kid. All right, this is not bueno. There we go. There she is. I think I'm gonna stay here for a moment. I wouldn't be surprised if, well, I don't know, if Winker Good morning, Barry. Aunt Barry. Good morning, Niren. Alright, so mom is back to her original spot here on the building. She's got her chipper still. She opened it up. She opened it up on the building a few minutes ago. A couple of minutes ago. There we go, that's better. My adapter is loosey goose here. She's stunning, isn't she? She said, I don't care. This is interesting. Lots of nice flat places for me to feed my kids. Alright, so mom is right there on that corner square. This is like Hollywood Squares, right? On steroids. 3D Hollywood Squares. So mom's up there and O2 is down there. Yep, gonna eat some more of the chipper. Alright, so let me show you the youngster. We're gonna get, well, let me have a little bit of sun flare here. Sorry. There's the youngster. So the way they build this building is they put up the first truss. Yes, I agree. And so I'm trying to remember, I think they put up 2, maybe 3 full, look at that beautiful stretch. Oh my gosh, good morning, O2. So they put up basically, I think 2 or 3 of the trusses and then tied them together with the cross members and stuff. So you had like this rigid kind of structure. And it was also still supported underneath. They walked these temporary support structures down the building as they add more trusses. And so I think those 3 trusses were still supported and cabled and stuff like that. And then they went back to the east. So the truss doesn't start at the end of the building. The truss was one step over. And then they went back east with the kind of verticals and cross members. They boxed it in essentially, and that's what O2 is sitting on. It's sitting on where the east facade is essentially of the building. So it's not really it's not a truss structure here at the east end. It's just sort of boxed in with verticals around, the corner. The end, and then they have a sloping roof coming down off of the trusses down to meet it. So that's where this little kid is, and mom is also sitting in the boxed area. So then they'll do the same thing, I believe. They'll probably walk down the trusses all the way down to just the second to last portion of the building, and then they'll box it in at the other end. Hello. Audacious BR. I'm going to push focus on you and pull you back. Look at that light. There's a shadow over her tail. Is she beautiful? Good morning, birdie. I agree, Niran. Yes, indeed. Alright, she's stunning, isn't she? Look at that. This is the nicest time of the day at this nest. Alright, so little one is, I think the little one is definitely aware of mom, and he is thinking, he's puzzulating. what he's gonna do. Yep, that's an I-beam. This whole thing is basically I-beams. Yeah, the project guys, construction guys, basically said it's a big pole barn. Not your typical barnuminium, though. I learned that word just recently from Mick. You're welcome, Birdie. And thanks for the guys that were like calling in to try to help. Appreciate that. Birdie and AM and FB. Excuse me. And BOGette and Keys. Right, so the kid knows where mom is. And O1, if you're wondering, I saw earlier, shortly after I got here, I first went looking for O2, did not find him, and then I did find O1 because the robins were yelling at O1. It was still where I left it last evening, at the sitting happily there, waking up on the top of the stairwell on the backside of Emerson. And when I got here, didn't know where O2 was, but mom was up on WTT2, right above the chick. So the chick, by the way, the chick's right there, and mom's right there. And that's the last truss. So they boxed it in that way and around the corner. After 3 of those trusses had been mated and cross-membered and all that kind of stuff, and cable tied and the whole bit. So we had a rigid structure there of 3 trusses, and then they fleshed that in, and then they started moving that way. So they're a little bit, I would say they're about halfway with the building. Maybe more, I'm not sure. And so anyway, mom was up there, and then I went and found O1 over there. And then So then Dad came in and came squawking up Tower Road this way, landed up on the dormer there behind the trees up there. And Mom came in, and they may have exchanged prey there or may have done it up on the nest. I'm not sure who flew in with the prey, but one after another they went up to the nest tower. And then Wink went over and landed there, and Mom sat up in the nest tower. And then she was gone, and then Wink left the crane and flew over his chick and went that way, and he was gone. And then Mom came and floated over me and landed there for the first time up there. So this is her second time back to that square. In the meantime, so then she also was, I'm going to zoom in a hair here to fool the camera. And she also was she floated around above the chick. She went through the building and went up above the chick a little further beyond it. And then she came back up onto the patio, and then she came back onto the square. And so that's where we are now. We've got the chick O2 there, and we got the mom. Come on, stop doing that. What the heck? I don't need you doing that, thanks. Hello? All right. So when she first landed beyond the chick for the first time on the side of the same side as the chick, she then, after a bit, opened up the chippy. And we can. So now the chick is there, mom's there, dad's somewhere, and O1, I think, I'm hoping, is still over there on the stairwell, or maybe coming this way. So one other note, there was a little bit of robining this morning, which is why I was encouraged when I parked over there and I came and I heard some robins over here. There was a robin there. There was a robin up on right, pointing this way. There's a robin down there, pointing up, and I saw mom, so I thought, oh yeah, maybe they're just yelling at mom on WTT too, but they were probably also yelling at O2. I'm gonna zoom out of here just so you can have fun with building. Mucho interesting, no? So I'm just curious if mom is going to. She's come flying this way, like she wanted the chick to do its thing. You know what I mean? A little bit, but we'll see if she relents and goes. What's interesting? Why don't they have? Huh? It just dawned on me. I don't. Huh. That's fascinating. Okay, so I've been talking about like the diagonals and stuff. This middle piece has diagonal framing, but this first two, I say, oh, we'll leave mom there so you can see her, but 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow. It's very interesting. Only the sort of the center sections had the diagonals in them. I didn't realize it. I thought they had dropped diagonals everywhere, but not here. Look, there are no diagonals. There's just the trusses and the horizontals. And then it's not until you get further on down that you start to get the diagonals. There they are. And then they stop again. Interesting. Okay. Well, there you have it. All right, so the mom's there happily. Chick is now looking around that way. So if you just joined, I think the construction folks went out of their way. Well, construction folks were very kind to basically really, really tidy up the area. I think sometimes, I'm not sure, but I think sometimes I've been here and like the lift trucks are where they've kind of like left them within the building and so forth, where they last worked, which makes sense, right? So you don't have to like move stuff around, you just get right at it. But they have lined up all of the lift trucks on the far side of the building, and they've emptied out everything. So they've cleared the rest of the building as much as possible. They've cleared this area where the crane is as much as possible, and the entire parking lot area. all the way down to the other end where the construction gate is and the project buildings are, is also empty. So the only thing is we have a little hole over here, excavation, and that, and maybe possibly over there. But that's it. They have done a beautiful job of, and all the containers are closed up and everything like that. I think they've buttoned everything up and they've cleared the whole area so that when these chicks fledge, which they did last evening, they have a tidy place to go and also to be found, which is very much appreciated. So if the kid decides to go hang out, it's going to be easier to find them down there. And it's also great that they fledged yesterday, and we have, I think it looks like it's probably not, unless they do something later on, this may be a quiet site for today and tomorrow. Okay, so Mom, so we've not, I know I'm talking a lot, I'm sorry, but we've had, I haven't had Mom on the building before, not that I've seen. She's been up on the towers. She was up on the crane one time that I saw, and Wink obviously has been on the crane probably several times. But here's Mom, and let's zoom in on the cross members and the roof, because that's one thing that they were concerned about, whether or not. Okay, so that it's looking pretty tight up there. They try to minimize the amount of space there is below the roofing and the cross pieces in order to minimize attractiveness to, you know, sparrows and little nest builders and stuff like that. Wow. I guess somebody's feeling pretty good this morning. A bit of a low stress situation there. Alright, so I'd love to know if she's gonna I wonder whether or not Wink is going looking after O1. But that's Mom. I'm gonna zoom out here. I just have a feeling that she might decide to do something. I'm not sure that the chick's gonna get up to her. Not yet. Mom is right there. She's footing it. Are you going to take off there, Ma? I'm going to do the keys thing. Give myself a little bit of leeway in the direction I think she might go. Well, we'll see. She's got it in her foot. And there she goes. Beautiful. All right, that's so sweet. Good mama. Very good mama. Just a little float down to baby. Yeah. Just a little float. Okay. I think she might actually, it's opened up, but she might, we'll see, she might feed the chick. Pull back a hair, get more light. There we go. Wow. Yes, it's Mama. Your Mama brought you something. Yep, you're gonna feed the baby. Yep. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can grab a. I don't know. I don't think if I go down the parking lot, I don't think I can do it. Because the fence is gonna be in the way. Or the back of the bleachers is gonna be in the way. Yeah. Mama gonna feed you? Yes. Everything's good. Everything's good in the world when Mama comes to feed you. Huh? Yep, and O1 is, I believe, still where I left her this morning, which is where I left her last night in the Emerson stairwell. So we've seen Mom, Dad, and Mom and Dad have been working together beautifully this morning. And Mom just hopped down to, okay, don't fall off. So let's just sit here and enjoy. Teeny bit of I'll be right back. I'm gonna see if I can get a spot down below. I'll be right back. Keep watching, guys. Alright, if you guys want to, oh, that's beautiful. Wow. There's a spot down below, but this is, I don't know, I like this. This is really nice. No, I'm thinking O2 probably stayed there the whole night. I'm guessing that's where he landed after he left his Fledge tree. So I'll show you in a bit. Right now we're gonna just enjoy watching Mom and the kiddo. Yeah. So happy to be there with Mom. Mom's got a chippy that Wink brought in. So Mom started out on WTT2, which is kind of like right above where the chick is, right across the sidewalk from the chick. When we left last night, Mom had been on ETT1. She had been up on Bradfield, and Wink was up there with her. That's a beautiful sight. Look at that. Got a beautiful scap there. And then Mom left Wink up on the ledges and went to ETT1. And then she was gone by the time I left. So I'm not sure exactly where she went. But so this morning there's some alarming over here, some robins in this area, but Mom was up on WTT2, like I said, but I didn't see the chick anywhere. So I went and found O1 behind Emerson, where I left her last night. Got my binoculars and stuff and came over here again. And started looking around and I found O2 where she's plunked right there on the building. And then Dad came in from the west up Tower Road. So I guess I'll show you. All right, so where we are, the chick is right there. And Mom has been built up into that square on that cross piece a couple of times. So anyway, chick was there. Mom was on WTT2. And then Dad and O1 was back there behind Emerson. And then Dad comes ripping in and squawking, lands up there. And another bird joins it. I thought, oh, that can't be O1. And it was Mom. And they may have done a pair exchange up there, I'm not sure. Or if they did in the nest. But one after another, they went up to the nest tower. And then Wink floated off and landed there. And Mom stayed up there. And then Wink floated off over the building, over where his chick was, and disappeared to the east. And then Mom was gone suddenly. And then a few minutes later, she came floating over me and landed for the first time on that crossbar there, and her chick was down below. And then she floated over beyond the chick and landed above it. and beyond on a cross piece. And then she came back this way. And then she went back there. And we still haven't seen Wink again. And then just a few minutes ago, she fluttered down with her the prey that she had opened and landed next to O2, which I also call O23, and that's okay. So that's my prerogative. That's in honor of the chick that we lost. So what happened last evening is on the big cam you saw O2 leave. Well, O2 actually did leave the nest tower, but it went immediately over here to the east tower. And then it walked the bottom railing in our direction. And the middle light middle row of light boxes, it got to the end of the railing, and then after a few minutes it tried to hop on to the middle row of light boxes onto the last light box, but it couldn't make it. It skidded off, and it floated essentially toward us right here and landed in that tree. It was there for a little bit, and then it was gone, and we spent some time looking for him last evening, and I thought he might have gone into the main part of the building, but this is where he wound up. He wound up on the side of the building, the east end of the building here, on the first row of cross members. All right, so it is Winker. Great. So I thought it was Winker who brought it into the nest, and then BR got it. So that's cool. They were working together beautifully as a team. And how long have we been on? For almost an hour. So it's been an hour since I laid eyes on O1. But I wanted to see what Mom's plans were for the little one. And I got another chippy down here running around. I got chippies all around here below me, running on the little hillside and stuff. So like I said, everything's really nicely arranged here at the construction site. There is a little bit of a excavation I was worried about, which is near near the tree where O2 fledged. Excuse me. Yeah. Yep. So he did. He went to the east tower and went. He was very, very, very anxious to follow his sibling. So I'm going to be pretty gender agnostic here. And So he definitely wanted off, and I had a feeling that kid's just going to go. And then we went to East Tower, thought he's really going to go. And then I was hoping he'd kind of like stay put there and maybe go back to the nest. Look at those two. Oh my gosh, he's so cute. Mom, what am I supposed to do now? All right, bye, Mom. All right, and Mom is going to come right toward us again for the third time. Hello, beautiful. Yeah, there's her beautiful red tail. All right, so she's trying to give the kid some notion of what it can do. You notice that she, all right, so I'm just gonna say, when she took off, she flew over this way a little bit, and then along this fence line here, so the back of the fence, and there's the metal railings and stuff like that. So tons of places, if that chick followed her path, where it would be able to land along this wall and stuff, and kind of work its way out of the construction area. So if it's paying attention, then it's going to follow Mom. Or if it just wants to sit here and preen, that's okay too. Yeah, so I don't think there was going to be any stopping that little one last evening. So Mom's right above us here on the light pole. So she's come this way 3 times now already. Mom has. And from if he goes from there and lands like somewhere along that wall, and there goes Mom. She is taking off and going. She's heading toward ETT1. And up she goes on the ETT1. And I don't think the kid is paying any attention to her, to be honest with you. And the winker is somewhere. This is a happy little Bubba-Doo. All right, so I think this one's gonna stay here, you know, for a bit. So we got a little bit of preening happening. That's beautiful. So if you guys want to stay here, I guess, and watch this chick, I'm gonna go have a quick look for O1. All right, I'll be back. Okay. So O1 is as happy as a camper. Well, that's an old saying, guys. All right, so O1 is where I left him. And the other thing is that if somebody's on the big cam, I'm sure they can see this chick. I think they probably have a view of O2 if they spin the cam around. Right now the cam looks like it's, from what I just checked on the web, it looks like it's pointed at the nest cup. So I think if you spin the camera around, you should be able to see. So who's screen? Be able to see O2. Okay, yes, Mom. What are you yelling at? So Mom is. Find the pole. There she is. Where she was. Okay. There's the mom. Well, at some point, I guess it'll be at some point, but the chick is there now. So that's Mom on ETT1. And there is the chick there. All right. So there's an S tower. That's O2's Fledge tree right there. And he went from the S tower to the East tower railing, walked the railing toward us, hopped onto the last light box, fell off the last light box, fluttered over here. And I'm guessing after I didn't see him anymore, he had tried to fly back and wound up over there on the east facade of the building. And Mom's been up there a couple of times, and then she floated down and fed the chick. Then she took off and came up here to the pole right above us, and then she went up to the east tower, and now she is yelling at somebody. It reminds me of when we first were here years and years ago. we had a chick. Mom was up on the east tower, and we had a chick. That's when they used to have like a pole vault pit there. Maybe they still do, but anyway. And they had pads out there on the field. And I remember walking out toward the field because I didn't know where the chick was or anything like that, right? This may have been in 2013. The D's? I think it was maybe in the D's. And suddenly Mom came off the east tower and she came right at me. She came ripping down off of there, and she pulled away from me about 10-15 feet away. And her baby was in among the pads in the pole vault pit. And it kind of reminds me, because there's a guy that's walking around the track here. Yeah, well, it's interesting. This year may be a little bit different. She may be a little bit more protective because it's not the same old, right? All right, let's go have a look at. We're going to take a moment and go up and see O1. And hopefully O2 will still be there when we get back. So, yeah. As you can see, there's the end wall that the chick is in, and that's the little light that Mom landed on, and there's that whole wall that the chick could land on and working its way here. Lots of places for it to land as it gets back here to the trees. But in the meantime, Mom is going to keep an eye on it from ETT1. Good morning, squirrel. All right, eat your food. Go ahead. There's the nest tower. So that's the tree that the chick fledged in. There's the nest tower there. Went to the east tower and then walked its way to the left. Tried to hop on that last light box on the second row of light boxes. Skidded off, flooded over, and landed in the top of that tree. And then it wound up over there. And this, you guys saw last evening, because I was getting ready to come over because I thought there would be a fledge, and as I was getting ready, there was a fledge. So O1 landed on the side of Bradfield there, apparently, and then when I got here, it was over in those little low shrubbery there, and then around the generators. And then it came up and up the hill onto the terrace there of Emerson. Then it hopped on the end wall and went around the corner and hung out there. And it's so funny, Cindy had me go around and behind Furno to see if it was going to take off and go that way toward Mann Library and the Morning Tree area and all that stuff. And I didn't see it there, so I came up the stairs and didn't see it. And then I came back around and looked back, and there it was. I had walked like right under it and up the stairs. Kind of silly. So we're definitely gonna have to hang on. I'm gonna zoom the scope out now. This chick is going to be so close. Not really close, but from the point of view of digital zoom, it will be. I'm not sure I'm going to set up. I'm just going to show you how pretty the chick is. I'll leave my stuff back here. Okay. And Robin's been yelling all morning. There's our kid right there. Might be able to set up here. It's going to be a challenge because there's a step there. We'll see. I'm going to put you guys on the scope. Yep, I think so. I think we can chill in a little bit. Hello, gorgeous. Look at that beautiful head. Oh my God. I hope that's beautiful. Right there. Yes, hello. Yes, I only get to post one scap, so I guess I'm just doing these for me. I think if somebody wants to post them to X, feel free. Good morning, Charlotte. How are you? Good morning, Dana. Morning, Kraft. Good morning. O2 is just fine. O2 is, we've been spending the whole morning with O2, Charlotte. Fledge is not sharp, huh? All right. Well, guess it looks sharp to me. All right, you guys. How's that look? Tell me, does this look nice and sharp? The bird's very bright there. Looks okay. Thanks, Barry. We're all about okay. So that's where the chick is there. And that's man library. See, it says man library. And there's the chickie poo. All right, so this kid is here, and we'll have a run down, have a look at O2, and then we're probably going to take a break for the morning. Seems like these guys are under control. Good morning, Deanne. And happy preening baby here, O1. All right. And we'll go down, and Mom's got eyes on O2. And Dad is around here somewhere. He he brought the prey for mom, and mom fed O2. So dad is definitely vigilant. Wouldn't be surprised if dad's up on the throne, to be honest with you. So I'll walk this way to see. Quite see it. Nope, he's not up there. All right. Well, the kid's in there and around the corner on the back side. Go up the stairs, turn right, and go all the way back. And then turn left, and you'll see the kid. That's the O1. Like they took down one of the Ferno pines there. Yep. There's a gap. That's right. We still have a bunch of them. That's good. Well, let's see if the chick is still there. Might have gone a wandering. I'm not seeing it from this angle. I'm still up on ETT1. Oh yeah. O2 still there. Yep, let's have a quick look and then I'm gonna head off. Right. So O2 is there on the crossbars, and mom has been up there a couple times, and she finally went and fed O2 there and landed next to him, and she fluttered down through the building and landed next to the babe. And there's the babe. Yeah, mom is still yelling it. It's gonna be interesting. Right there. Morning, Marge. No, it's on the. Yeah. Yeah, mom is screaming at somebody. She's not super pleased there. All right, guys. That's where we stand this morning. We have two beautiful, happy, healthy chicks. Mom is definitely in attendance. Dad has helped with prey, and they're both looking pretty good. They're in a good, I think, a pretty safe place. Mom got eyes on the kid. So we will see you guys a little bit later. You guys take care. Have a good Saturday morning, and we'll be checking in on these guys. Right. Take care.